Hello everybody, my name is Ryan, and there have been a bunch of new rumors revolving around the Xbox One and Microsoft's conference for E3 this year, so what better time than now to do my E3 predictions for Microsoft, now that a bunch of it has already sort of been confirmed. We're going to talk about how they'll handle new hardware, Microsoft's plans for VR on Xbox One, new games they'll announce, and how they'll handle previously announced games. Basically a lot of Halo this year, some Halo Wars, we're going to talk about Halo 6, which is on the horizon, as well as Forza Horizon, other games like Thieves, plus how the new Xbox models, Scorpio and Oculus Rift, possibly coming to Xbox One, and maybe a little bit about the Hololens. So let's begin. This is Nerd. Number one, starting off with the thing that I'm most excited for is a game that we know will eventually happen, so this must eventually happen, the announcement of Halo 6. Now, they'll likely just announce that it's still far away, as the release from Halo, or like the distance between Halo 4 to Halo 5 was 3 years. They'll likely just say it's coming soon, and then it won't be released this year, and probably not next year, but they'll likely release it in 2018, 3 years away from the last Halo game. Get a good cycle out there, which will be interesting. So I'm imagining that's how they'll handle it, and they'll just say it's coming soon, coming in the future, and they'll show us a teaser trailer like they did for Halo 5, and announce that it'll be VR compatible. That's the big thing I'm imagining, a VR Halo game. Now, we'll talk more about VR later. Number two, we're going to be talking about some of the obvious ones floating around game journalism sites for the past few days, or when I scripted this, it was the past few days, which is like a more powerful Xbox One console coming early next year. So that is great to have as a prediction because it's basically already confirmed, but I'm just going to be right. This is great. Reports say that it will release early next year, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get it at the end of this year, as Microsoft's way to try and fight off the PlayStation 4 Neo. My best guess is that they'll launch it whenever the HoloLens is ready, and have that be the release date, because if they release it late this year, they're going up against new PlayStation 4. If they release it early next year, they're going up against new Nintendo, a console that people don't have yet, but people already have Xbox Ones, so it's a little bit more of competition. Number three, taking it back to a game that we heard about last year, I'm anticipating a release date for the next Rare game, Sea of Thieves. We haven't heard much about that game in the past year. It's a new Rare game though, so of course I'm excited for it, and we know that it's coming soon, likely this year. We don't know when it'll come out because they didn't announce a release date, but I'm anticipating a release date this year. So I'm thinking it'll be a September release date. Get it out kind of early, still kind of close to summer, or still even in summer. This way they get it out before all those Battlefields and Titanfalls and Call of Duty big sellers get out. They can have their kind of simpler puzzle game that's not really a shooter, because that last quarter is when those games just really take over, when a lot of big games come out. So it's probably safer to launch it right before that, which would be pretty great. Number four, this one is basing off of patterns in the series, and predicting that Forza Horizon 3 will be announced this year, or this E3, and then released later this year. In 2012, Forza Horizon came out. In 2013, Forza Motorsport 5 came out. And then in 2014, Horizon 2 came out. Last year, continuing that trend, Forza Motorsport 6 came out. So, I can only imagine that this year will continue that trend, and Forza Horizon 3 will be released this year. And a good place to release it would be E3, because if that game's going to come out this year, like it likely will, it needs to be announced soon. Number five, going back to what we started this list off with, Halo. I'm guessing that we will get a stage demo and release date for this, release date of this fall for Halo Wars 2. Now, to be honest, I don't care too much about Halo Wars, but I think that this is still very likely. It's supposed to be coming out this fall, and we haven't seen a lot of gameplay for it, so I'm imagining that we will get to see some official gameplay, maybe like a test game of it, just to show us how it's going to play and everything. Probably also an official gameplay trailer to introduce it off before they go into the stage demo, and then a full release date, maybe around like October or something. That's when often a lot of Halo games launch, or maybe November. Best guesses are those. Number six, next talking about one of the ones that seems to be unsuccessfully predicted every year, so maybe it's not a good thing that I have it here. But basically, it's a Microsoft conspiracy that there will be a new Battletoads game on the Xbox One. This is something I've seen obsessed over for years without end now. Most evidence stems from Microsoft employees continuously wearing Battletoads t-shirts on stage, and just a huge want for that game to be, to come back, to be rebooted. However, I do also hope that we get a new Battletoads game, and I will keep pushing this conspiracy until it's true. I'm hoping for it. Maybe it's less of a prediction and more of a hope, but I feel like it gotta happen at some point. They keep wearing those t-shirts. It's a conspiracy. Number 7, second to last, talking about hardware for E3 this year, is that we will see the new Xbox models that are also able to support Oculus Rift. This one is here because of the rumors and the rumors that Oculus Rift will be supported by the new Xboxes, and the fact that Microsoft needs to hop on this VR train soon before it just gets away without them. According to reports, the new Xbox One model will be able to support the Oculus Rift, so that's another leg up that the Oculus Rift has over the HTC Vive, which is kind of crushing it, except for the price point. And it makes more sense for Oculus to now ship with Xbox controllers because there you go, they're doing a partnership. While Xbox is doing great with HoloLens, that's its own thing. That's AR when they really need to get VR on. And since PlayStation VR is releasing this fall, having Microsoft developing their own AR is getting them ahead in that division, but no one else is working in that division. So if they just say Oculus is supportable for Xbox One tomorrow, who knows? It means that VR on Xbox One could have a huge advantage because they could get it out very soon. They could just patch the Xbox One and say now you can play VR on it, or it might have to wait till that new console's release date. Either way, I'm still imagining that they'll announce Oculus Rift compatibility for Xbox One, maybe just the new models, but I'm hoping also the old models, because that's the one I have, and I bought it less than a year ago, so I'm not updating anytime soon. And number 8, finally, I think that Microsoft will end their E3 conference this year with another demo announcing the price and release date for the HoloLens. The HoloLens has been announced for a while, and we've seen a demo of it with Minecraft, but Microsoft really needs to lock down a price and date. It's becoming like PSVR, where they keep showing it without really saying anything about when it's going to come out or when it's how much it's going to cost you. And Microsoft needs to declare the release date before it keeps feeling like a tease. I'm guessing 2 things. One, that they keep delaying it or keep stalling on it, mainly because it probably costs a lot to make right now. The HoloLens is probably not a cheap thing, at least cheap enough to buy with a currently $300 console. You're shipping out $300 consoles and also saying, hey, buy this who knows how much headset that you can see things in your room with. And PlayStation's doing well with that because they're keeping both things to relatively cheap console prices, whereas Microsoft might not have an easy of a time pushing HoloLens. Remember, AR is more of a newer technology, so it's kind of harder to get out there. But they do need to lock down a release date soon before other people start catching up, and it just continues to feel like a tease. I'm guessing that it will launch alongside the Xbox One early next year, but maybe late this year. Who knows? What do you think? Comment your hopes and predictions down below, because they can be 2 very different things. Like, you might predict that we'll see a HoloLens release date, but also hope that we get to see Battletoads. So this video kind of combined both of those. Subscribe for more E3 videos, give this video a like if you enjoyed, and also you can subscribe for the Ubisoft and Bethesda videos that I will hopefully have out before E3. I'm going to try and crank those out in the next few days, so subscribe for that. Also, Overwatch gameplay coming soon if it's not already out, and I'll see you all next time.